Hello, welcome to Luna the Druid. We're smiling, we're happy because today we're talk tarot. And when we talk tarot, it's always fun. It's always fun. My wife always says, push Jan's tarot button and he'll and he'll take off.
Hello and welcome. Tonight there are already comments saying hello. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Claire. So lovely to have you tonight. Today will be a treat, a dessert for all the tarot lovers. But if you are starting your journey, it's going to be even more exciting for you because today we will continue our series, How to Learn Tarot. We decided that we haven't talked in a while about tarot itself, so it's about time to change it. Claire says that she has no sound.
Can anyone else say if that's true? I can check here.
Okay, I do have sound on my side. Technical issues, what's new? At least not on my side today.
Technical issues, what's new?
No, we have sound here. I have sound on my phone too. So it's Claire. Claire,
Yes.
I hope you get your sound back soon. And she's back in. So after I think I counted them. We done seven, a series of 7 already. You can find the other ones in the description of this one. They're in a playlist. The 7 previous lessons of the tarot, and today we're diving into the Minor Arcana. Why is it called Minor Arcana?
Because that's the part of a tarot which talks about everyday experiences, emotions. The Major Arcana, the big ones, are the big guns. They talk about destiny and fate. And to me, Minor Arcana are those which talk about daily life, things which are in our hands to be changed. It's like where tarot would be a movie, the Major Arcana would be the big scenes, but the little chapters would be the Minor Arcana.
Yeah. I'd like to add to that the Major Arcana is also very much talking about archetypes. So in the Major Arcana, we have also big life phases or big processes you're going through, long-lasting processes from starting up things to development and decay and rebirth. So your life phases, your big steps in life, are in the Major Arcana, and when you take them together, you see the smaller details of these steps in the Minor Arcana. Yeah,
smaller doesn't mean less important, though. I want to stress that out.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's not just the surface level, because Minor Arcana can actually go even deeper, because with every single card, with every single number of it, there is a different meaning. And tonight we will talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe we can start with acquainting ourselves with the idea of what you see, what are Minor Arcana cards, and how have they developed? I like to show cards from history, so I pulled 2 series of 4, where in every series we have 4 decks, and the series are represent all the elements. I'll start with the first slide. Yeah, the first slide we see the active elements, fire and air. The top row is fire. These are called the wands, and the lower row is air, and they are called the swords. And we have 4 cards of the 5 of wands from 4 various different decks. the Five of Wands from on the left is the Marseille Tarot, the Conver. We see in the 16th, 17th, 18th century that the minor arcanas are really treated as minors because they all look the same. They only have numbers, so they have a numeric value and they have meanings, but the meanings are not as prominent, which was definitely changed in the second deck, which is the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Pamela Golden-Smith, on her own merit, says, okay, but I'm gonna make this energy of this minor arcana visible. And for instance, in the Five of Wands, we see, you can even see a small keyword on the third card. We see strife, we see competition, we see people competing for the highest point. In the Thoth deck, which is a typical Golden Dawn deck, that's the third one. We go back to the pip cards again. Pip cards are not illustrated cards that are like playing cards and numbers. And the fourth deck in the row is the Light Seer's Tarot, where we again see this reaching for the top and seeing who gets there first. On the bottom row, we have the swords, eight of swords. Again, in the Marseille Tarot, not too distinguished. We see way more of the Eight of Swords and the illusion of being stuck and the illusion of being able to get out of it in this Eight of Swords here. In the Thoth Tarot, the third one, we see that we can change the face, so it's a bit more illustrated, but still abstract, and the colors speak and the shapes speak. And then in the Light Seer's Tarot, we have the Eight of Swords, where we see again this illusion and the crows flying around the lady, and she doesn't see what's going on. What's your
Yes.
Yeah.
I will stop you here for a second, because for those who know tarot, what we're talking about is pretty clear. However, for those who have no clue what tarot is or are just at the beginning of a journey, they may think, what the heck is going on that screen? So before we jump any further, perhaps we could shortly, before we go deeper, discuss what actually those groups mean. Because you mentioned wands, you mentioned swords, but maybe we could dive just briefly. What is this? So we started with wands. So what exactly wands are? What do they talk about?
Yeah, if you look at the minor arcana, you can have an idea like in playing cards. You have 4 suits, of which we have shown 2. The wands would be the clubs, and the swords would be the spades. Is that correct? The wands would be the clubs. The swords would probably be the spades. Yeah, the black ones. And then the other 2 would be the red ones, but talk about them later. And in the tarot, they represent the elements. So the wands are related to the element of fire, and the swords are related to the element of air.
Correct.
And the element of fire, where do we find that in our body or in our life? Luna?
It's the action taking, where we need some movement. It's the passion, life force, creativity, sometimes even identity. Fire is that, to me personally, fire is that expressive, almost masculine energy. It creates, but it can also burn out.
Absolutely. And what we shown in the first series too were the swords, and the swords represent the mind and
The logic, communication, decision making as well sometimes. Everything what's in the realm of what's going on in our head. Clarity sometimes as well.
Yeah, and if I bring back the cards, you can see that idea that the wands are definitely active, the top row, you know, especially the ones that have a pictorial view, and the sword cards, in especially when we go in the higher sword cards, they talk about the illusions and the mind taking us astray, and the mind taking us down, sometimes even taking us all the way down into the abyss and taking us down in the pit or in the dark night of the soul. That's most of the times that has to do with the mind.
Yes, it's all about the perspective, but also truth sometimes.
Yeah. So we had the two black ones from the playing cards, so the clubs and wands, and the spades and swords, and then we also have more passive archetype or more passive colors, and they are represented in the things that we would call the red cards in the playing cards. And we start with the cups on top, where we already see in the fourth one a little heart. We also see that even in the abstract, in the Rider-Waite-Smith, the second card. The first is Marseille again, the ancient tarot. The second card is Rider-Waite-Smith card. It's also a bit more abstract. The third card is the explosive Thoth Ace of Cups, and the fourth card is the more modern, more contemporarily Ace of Cups from the Light Seer again. And there we even see the little heart. And so the heart, the hearts or the cups cards, they represent water. And then the fourth suit is the bottom one, that's the diamonds, and they're represented by pentacles or discs, depending how you name them. So the first is Marseille. The second one we see someone hanging on to his possessions, to his earthly possessions in the Four of Pentacles from the Rider-Waite-Smith. In the third card, that's funny because we see here an abstract vision, but we can, with a bit of fantasy, see a drone view from a castle. So this is also a card definitely with an earthy element where you hold on to your possessions, which is the same in the Light Seer's tarot, where the lady is clinging to her purse. And so these discs or pentacles, discs. These dick pics have to do with with her. Okay, boop. Let's get back on Earth, or let's get back to the hearts. What's your impression?
That's it. I'm gone. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. This was Luna and the Druid. Good. It's Freudian, I think. Yep.
Thank you very much. I really needed to laugh tonight, so I cried. But yes, let's talk about element of water.
Yeah.
Element of water. That's it. I'm out.
I'll take over. So we had the cups cards, the element of water they're representing, or they represent in the normal playing cards the hearts. So they have to do with our emotions, the emotions of the heart overflowing, the heart giving, the heart living, and the general impression of the heart cards that they are gentle, which is not always the case, because there are some challenging cards on the way to the end. But we start at the ace, and the ace is where where the emotions go all the way over. And yeah, your heart is laughing too, Luna.
Yes, well, cards are all about emotions, intuition, empathy, relationships, sometimes even imagination. It's the realm of heart's truth. Very feminine, very flowing. It nurtures, it connects.
Yeah. So the heart cards have to do with feelings too.
Absolutely.
Feelings of togetherness, of family, feelings of pleasure, feelings of well, pleasure. You're triggered. You're triggered by any word that you can mess with today. Shall we, Luna? Shall we get back to earth?
I hope the Pentacles discs, Jan, discs will bring me back a little bit, because I was reading comments and
Yeah. What shall we talk? What shall we say about the
Pentacles?
Pentacles.
The element of earth.
Yeah. You go.
Oh, so to me, Pentacles are all about material stuff. It's obviously money, but also other resources like time, energy, matters of the health of the body, also time, energy exchange, as I said, money, but also different type of exchange. Would you add anything to it?
Yeah, I always say the Pentacles are things you can usually most of them you can touch, like you said. Pentacles also talk about a thing like your health or improved health or longevity. So that's the body that you can touch. Or like you say, resources is important, and resources, time isn't as touchable as the other of the resources, but normally it's a tangible stuff. Yeah, it's
it can be
the manifested world.
Yes, it can be also work, physical environment in general.
Yeah,
and it's the grounding energy, something which is steady, which is slow compared to the fire or even water or air energy. Yeah. Definitely needed tonight, though.
Yeah, a bit of fire. Yeah, and what you can see, for instance, if you have a Pentacles card and a disc card, you could say, okay, we're doing something that's close to our heart. So sometimes I see a combination of Pentacles and disc when people want to start their own business, because starting your own business is going way beyond the usual stuff. So that's definitely a matter of passion and purpose. So once. And then the Pentacles is the business itself. So that's how the combination works. Or a Cups and a Pentacle getting married or getting in a relationship and moving into a house. And so these are then combinations that you see together. And that's how cards and minor cards, even minor cards, can talk about big things in life, especially if you have them together. Two or three or four or five of them can still mean important decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you start reading cards, and especially when you start reading minors, do you think it's always necessary to know all the exact card meanings?
As an intuitive card reader, I would say no, because you can know the numbers or the suits of the card, what exactly they represent. Like, for example, number 1, new beginning, 5, change, 10, completion, something coming to an end. And then based only on that, you can actually create the meaning of the card. Obviously, knowing the meaning helps. But how we learn the meaning? By reading cards itself. Some decks will have a clearer picture. What does it mean? Like, for example, the Light Seer Tarot, where you can see there was an image of one of cups, for example, which the cup was on where the heart is. So it clearly suggests new beginning within the realms of emotions, some sort of new aspect within the emotional life. So absolutely, there is a tricky way of reading cards, and perhaps we could jump into it today a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And especially like you say, like the Light Seer's Tarot has clear clear messages, clear visuals.
Yes.
Look at the Eight of Pentacles.
I think
Where-
Wider Smith actually has it even more clear, because Light Seer is pretty intuitive deck.
Yeah,
Wider Smith is very straight
Yeah.
to the point with the
yeah.
meaning.
They go straight to the point where we're fighting. We're
Yeah.
fighting. We're competing. We're looking. We're looking who who's the number one. Yeah, or you can even tell a story of this card. I often tell the story. Look at the lady. She's tied up. She's blindfolded, but she can even. You could even imagine that she moves closer to the swords and rubs her arms against it, and so she releases the rope that holds her hands, and once she has her hands free, she can take off the blindfold and can just walk out, and she can put the swords aside. So there's definitely stories that you can just make up by really looking at the card, even without having the meaning clear, without having the meaning clear. And that's also a thing where you find in the details of these cards, of these drawings, you find things. You can find things. Sometimes your eyes, as an intuitive reader, get drawn to a certain element of the card because it's related to the rest of the story, or related to the question that the person you're reading for, or the question you have yourself, if you're reading for yourself, that comes up.
Absolutely. Well, aces, which are the number one, it's all about pure potential, the spark, the seed, the divine beginning. What else would you add to that?
Yeah. If you look at the ace and as the spark and the divine beginning, then you can combine the ace with their element. So the Ace of Cups, a new relationship. I said, oh, I had a lady once and she pulled the Ace of Cups. I said, you have a new love in your life. She says, no, I have not. I'm still with my man, this and this and that. And she said, and later on in the reading, she said, yes, 2 months ago, I gave birth. I said, is that not a new love in your life? Of course, that's also a new love in her life. And what was her problem? That she had postnatal depression. She couldn't even see the new love in her life. So that's how cards sometimes give meanings that are out of the box. And the like the Ace of Wands, a new spark, a new beginning. We're diving into action. We're here the starting gun, and boom, we start to run. That's definitely the Ace of Wands. What more do we have? Swords?
Yes.
Ace of Swords?
New ideas, new beginning within communication, some sort of new chapter, clarity as well.
Yeah. I sometimes even say about the Ace of Swords, an empty mind, where new ideas can move into this vacuum of emptiness. Yeah.
Yes. And of course, for Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities, new job offers, or new ways of either getting more income, something stable as well.
Yeah. And so then when you go from the Ace to the twos, and then you have the next step, and if you the Two of Wands, for instance, is definitely someone. This idea is already moving into a choice.
Yes.
A choice.
Talk about balance, duality, sometimes choice, reflection, mirroring, but it's definitely a next step from planning, from new into something more real. But however, we'll get to that because it's still in the realm of the mind. It's still in the realm of imagination, planning.
Yeah, and then the Ace of the Two of Cups. That's where we go from separation to unison already. That's the first step when when these two souls or two they meet, and this new beginning of the emotions and the heart is already something getting together. Yeah.
However, it doesn't have to be in a romantic way, because
No, no.
often it talks about meeting and finding soul teachers, soulmates, but as soul teachers, coming together to collaborate, but more on the emotional side, friendships as well.
Yeah. And what do we have then? Then we have this the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is playing here, and this is where the first noise comes, or where we have the first thoughts are manifesting, and do we observe them or do we still hide from them? And there's also choices there.
Yes, sometimes can be opposing ideas as well. The decision to be made.
Yeah, yeah, and for instance, in the Golden Dawns, the Two of Swords is manifesting peace and inner peace, manifesting peace of mind still. So we have the Golden Dawn, where we say the new morning, and the peace of mind is a process that we're not starting to think yet, and yeah, and then I really love the Two of Pentacles actually.
To me, it's a card of juggling, card of finding balance between many aspects of life.
Yeah, it represents change, beneficial change most of the times, good changes, shedding your skin, and yeah, moving on in this world of manifested reality. Yeah, love that idea.
Yes, and then Two of Wands, choices, making a decision between two, getting again into balance between two aspects.
Yeah. Juggling two aspects. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to action taking towards something. Moving on to number 3. This is where the growth starts. This is where the idea slowly starts to manifest into a form.
Yeah, yeah. In the Wands, we had the two of the idea of the choice you're making, and in the Three, you see already the first results of it. The Three is the baby steps you're taking, and the bigger steps you take that are making this reality come true, and it's all exciting. It's very exciting. The Three of Wands. You bring everything you have to the table. You bring your upbringing. You bring your education. You bring your superpowers. That's where they come together, because now really we're getting somewhere.
Yes. Three of Swords, however, have a slightly different meaning. Swords is a tricky energy, I have to say, because unlike the others, and they go in a slightly different order, and Three of Swords usually represent loss, heartbreak, yes, some sort of often separation as well.
Yeah, yeah, and the Golden Dawn meaning would represent it as sorrow. So there's a part of grieving, lovers lost, grieving people lost, people died or people went away, and it hurts, and it hurts.
But on the other hand, Three of Pentacles talks about teamwork, coming together to create something, to build something.
Yeah, yeah, and Three of Cups is also coming together, but that's something different, coming together as friends in abundance, and where we raise the glass, or we sit on the long table, or share ideas, share the love, share the friendships, and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Celebration.
Celebrate. Yep,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
coming together, friendship, community. Um, moving on to number 4, which represents structure and stability. It can be either foundation or it can be stagnation. It depends on in which element we
Yeah.
have it. You have here, what is this? 4 of Swords, I suppose, or
No,
Wands.
this is four of Pentacles.
Four of
You said
Pentacles.
stability. Of course, when we start with the Wands, stability in first profits, stability in first coming together, stability, even stabilizing a passionate relationship through a cooperation or living together agreement. In the Four of Wands, and in the Four of Swords, we have the stable break after the we take some time out after the period of grief that we had in the Three of Swords. So there's also a story evolving especially in the Swords as well, of course.
Yes.
And then the Four of Cups.
Four of Cups, to me, this is where either universe is giving us something and we say no, or there is a need to pause in general. Boredom sometimes, unappreciation. Images of Four of Cups are usually represented by somebody sitting with Three of Cups in front of them, and there is that one cup coming from someplace else. So it depends on the deck, of course, but to me it often is boredom or not being happy with what we have, wanting more, but at the same time not accepting what's being given to us.
Yeah. So yeah, the rejection part is there, and there's also the part, like you said, the boredom. If you saw the rise in the cups of the birth, togetherness, and celebration, I have had times when I celebrated every day, and even that gets boring. A jet set life, if you're always on the move, that can also be boring. And that's this luxury that can be just already a bit too much, and that leads to other things like disappointment.
Yes, and one of my favorite cards, Four of Wands, talks about stability, homecoming, literally, or as an in a how to explain that, homecoming in a more metaphoric way. Excuse me. It's about stability. Sometimes celebrations like weddings, birthdays as well, but it's all about having those all 4 pillars stable in front of us or surrounding us.
Yeah. And then in the Four of Pentacles, we have we're hanging on to this. Sometimes a bit too much. I always say when we have investments or we have stuff, we have material, we have manifested things, they work best when they're invested properly or reinvested properly, when they move. Silent money put in a bag or in a pot and dug in the ground, there's no money tree growing out of it. So that's the risk of this card, that you're putting it in places where it doesn't grow. And so your investments and your material stuff should be put to good use in the Four of Pentacles.
Moving on to number 5, when things start to get interesting, because 5 is all about changes, sometimes conflict. It's the tension from where the growth happens.
Yeah. The 5s are the halfway point, of course, between the start and the things. So at the 5s we see the threshold, or the blocks in the roadblocks in the road. And in the 5 of Cups we see oftentimes someone looking at 3 cups who have fallen over. So there's this disappointment. but he forgets that he has 5 cups and the other 2 are just out of sight and they're still standing and they're not empty. They might be overflowing or half full or whatever, but there's still chances there. So the 5 of Cups is never say that because today something doesn't work for me, it's not going to be always.
Mm. 5 of Pentacles, feeling of being left out in the cold, feeling of abandonment, loss, losing something.
Winter, yeah.
5 of what we have left.
Swords.
Swords, or
Wands.
conflict. Both actually represent conflict. One is more mental conflict. The other one is conflict from the outside, when somebody is trying to impose something on us.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially the 5 of Swords. I always say in the 5 of Swords, sometimes it looks like there is a victor, like someone winning the fight, and but they don't come out in one piece either. You know, they're bruised as well. They're in pain as well. And 5 of Swords to me is everybody hurts card. Sometimes.
But on the other hand, number 6 represents harmony being restored. It's that integration, sometimes sharing as well.
Yeah. 6 of Cups. Oh, I love the 6 of Cups. It's a card of pleasure, nostalgia, but also of finding your own way and doing what you like on your merits. You know, it's your choice. You build your own life and you're enjoying it. That's the 6 of Cups.
To me, also represents childhood as well, being childlike energy. Yeah. On the other hand, 6 of Pentacles, the balance, the generosity, even give and take. When what we give comes back to us, the investment starts to pay back to us as well in a balanced way.
We're creating success in the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, absolutely.
What about 6 of Wands?
That's taking it a step further, especially when you come from the 5 of Wands. When you're the 5 of Wands, we're competing, and in the 6 of Wands, we're victorious. Yes, we rock, we roll, we've made it, and we have fought for our position, and we have our position now, and it's getting solid, and it's getting good, and we love it, and people cheer for us. The ones we love, they're happy for us. Yeah.
And last but not least, 6 of Swords, which, as we said before, Swords is a more heavy energy, more heavy journey. However, 6 of Swords, it's actually a really positive card, talking about moving into smoother, calmer waters, into smoother direction, to things flowing more smoothly.
Yeah, 6 of Swords also is being guided. You sometimes see a boat where a woman and a child, they're sitting in the boat, and then there's someone, the ferryman, who makes sure that you get to the other shore, and so there's a lovely energy there. And sometimes we say the 6 of Swords should be the last card of the sword suit, because the other ones are not necessarily bad cards, but they're way more challenging as we go deeper there. And but that's also with the other 7s, you know. 7 of Cups. Woo.
Mm-hmm. Yes, choices. Sometimes too many of them. Illusion, delusion, inability to make a decision. It depends, obviously, on the situation.
Or taking bad life decisions. You know, the 7 of Cups is also about abuse, drink, substance abuse and stuff. That's all coming in there. This the illusions of having a better life by poisoning yourself or drugging yourself. And then the 7 of Pentacles. Woo. Also a tricky card. It can be a tricky card because it's patience and waiting.
You see, I don't see 7 of Pentacles as a tricky card at all. To me, it's waiting for the seeds to grow. But
Yeah.
obviously, patience here is the
Yeah.
key, because sometimes we don't see, we've put a lot of work, but we can't see much of the effort and result just yet.
Yeah.
7 of Wands.
Yeah. Defending with courage, with standing up for yourself, taking your place, taking up your space. I love it. And even if sometimes other people would like to take your space, like in the 5, but you in the 6 you have already created this victory, and you're now defending it. You're hanging into it.
Mhm. And what's left? I think 7 of Swords.
Yeah, the 7 of Swords, illusions, deceit, thievery, stealing ideas, stealing intellectual property, deception, self-deception,
Sneaky energy.
sneaky card. Yeah.
Yes. Moving on to 8, which talks about mastery, sometimes action as well. It's the power in motion card.
Yeah.
And my favorites out of 8 is the 8 of Wands, communication, fast-paced energy, moving quickly. Sometimes it talks about traveling, especially abroad, overseas, but fast-paced energy, movement. I love that card.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And then the 8 of Cups, also movement, but now we're moving away. Sometimes it's turning our back to a situation or making a U-turn. Sometimes returning to something, saying goodbye to things that no longer serve you. When we talked about the 7 of Cups, about all the illusions and the big things in the 8, we can move away from that. We can let the addictions go, or we can let people go, or we go our separate ways in the 8 of Cups.
8 of Pentacles, something real stable, mastery, working on something, on creating, and then sometimes repetition as well. And of course, patience to me as well.
Crafty card.
Yes, it's the skill mastery.
Mastery, yeah. And finally, the 8 of Swords. We talked about that one already. Illusion of being stuck, illusion of the self-deception that you're
Self-imposed illusion. I think that's really necessary to remember, that it's not the reality, but the perception of reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
On to the 9s.
Fulfillment. It's like almost completion.
Nearly there.
Starting to show up. It's, to me, it's always the happy single card where something is within us, only one person, one unit. Like, for example, 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment, wish like being happy on your own without needing
Unconditional happiness. Yeah, absolutely. And then in the 9 of Pentacles, we have the material growth. It's like the big promotion, or a big gain. Sometimes even in a reversed position, you could say a windfall, and windfalls not always come from positive circumstances. The 9 of Pentacles can also be an inheritance, and then somebody died. That's there's some of these cards have these double meanings, where it's good to have some money, but it's not always good the way you get it. But it's really an improvement of money. The 9 of Pentacles.
Yeah, 9 of Wands, the wounded healer, as I call it, still standing solidly after all the heavy experiences, learning to set boundaries, taking the learnings from all the journey.
Yeah, and then the 10 of Swords. No, the 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords. We're in the 9s. 9 of Swords.
Yes.
Nine of Swords. It's not the end yet, but it's even more tricky because we're after the Eight of Swords where we could still release ourselves. It gets a bit heavier. We get nightmares. We're really getting on slippery slopes there.
To me, that's anxiety, the sleepless nights, over worrying, overthinking. This time, it's not the illusion, it's the actual experience of life. And last but not least, tens. Tens is completion, transition, end of cycle. Wisdom gained, sometimes learning through experiences. And since we were in the Nine of Swords, perhaps we could start with the Ten of Swords, which is an interesting card because it's the ending, painful ending, which leads to the beginning, to something new.
Yeah, you could say that the Ten of Swords, I would say the Ten of Swords is actually rock bottom. And where you often, instead of rocks, find a trampoline, because the Ten of Swords is also when you end up rock bottom, there's sometimes a quick recovery, but it's definitely the end of the mental suffering, the end of the anxiety, the end of this. And sometimes it's a painful end, but it's an end anyway. And
Ten of Wands, taking the burden on your shoulders and moving from it, learning from it as well.
Yeah.
Taking
Ten of Wands can be a bit overwhelmed by all the passion, all the purpose, but sometimes asking for help. Ten of Wands, someone to take over your burden. Yeah,
because that's the energy of keep going, move forward. Ten of Cups, I think everybody's one of the favorite cards, which talks about happy life, happy family, relationships, harmony within all the relationships. It's something we want to see on the table, basically.
Yeah. Ten of Cups, I always call it, if you have a perfect picture of your life, that's Ten of Cups.
Yes.
And you can fill it in. You fill in your own blanks, your own colors, your own details, but Ten of Cups is perfect picture. Yeah.
Similarly, Ten of Pentacles, the prosperity. So Ten of Cups will be more in the emotional realm and the equivalent of the physical realm, fulfillment, having prosperity, even good fortune within the physical realm, like health, money, prosperity, abundance within the material aspect. That's Ten of Pentacles.
Yeah, perfect. So here you see actually how from the aces where we had this start, in every suit a story evolves. You can even create a story of every suit, and that's what I really love about the Minor Arcana, because it's story building material. It's the building blocks of the story. You know, the archetypes of the story are the heroes themselves in the story. That's the Major Arcana, and then the evolvement of the story is in the Minor Arcana.
Yes. So out of 56 cards of Minor Arcanas, we've talked today about the 40. So perhaps next week you can join us for the part 2 of this one, where we will talk about the suits.
The court cards.
Or different groups.
The persons, the people. People cards.
Which have a wonderful and very deep meaning. So I'm looking forward to share that with you. And with that said, we want to thank you for joining us today, laughing with us, and learning with us. I hope this was helpful, and I see you on the other side.
See you next week. A wonderful evening. Bye.